Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say what's up to you. This is James Gibbs III here, trumpeter, producer, overall musician, educator, and I just want to bring you guys and girls to my laboratory, and I want to discuss all things Ableton Live. Now, I have a lot of musician friends who would like to learn Ableton. Okay, and I have a lot of musician friends who are not completely satisfied with what they know with Ableton, and I know a ton about Ableton. Now, understand something. The version that we are going to be looking at is Ableton Live 9. There is a 10, there's an 11. Okay, unlike 8, the format between Ableton 10 and 11, it's almost like the same as 9, just a couple little upgrades or whatever, but we're just pretty much going to just stay focused on the basics of Ableton. All right, so again, I'm going to assume that you guys and girls are ready to go, and you want to get to learn this wonderful program. This is to enhance whatever you have going on musically. All right, so by me being a musician, by me being a musician, a professional trumpeter, I actually use Ableton in situations where a band cannot be used in that situation. So in order to pretty much make a living, a consistent living, sometimes you have to kind of turn the technology and actually use it to your disposal. Okay, so without further ado, here we go. Now let's get right into Ableton. All right. So first thing you want to do is you want to bring up your Ableton here. Okay. Now what you're going to see is you're going to see 2 MIDIs, 2 audios. Okay. You're going to see your auxiliary sends. To the far right here, you're going to see your delays. Now I'm going to assume that you already have your MIDI together. I'm going to also assume that you have your audio interface already hooked up. Okay, and we're going to go over that in a second as well. Okay, this particular screen is what you call the arrangement screen, because once you make a recording in these particular boxes here, you can arrange them any way you want. And to the far right where it says master right here, these are what you call sequences or scenes. Okay, so once you arrange your tracks the way you want, you come over here to this master part, and then you can engage any scene that you want pretty much at any time that you want to engage it. Okay, so this is the arrangement view, and let me just go over a couple other things really quick. This solo thing down here, this is your click volume. Okay, and it has the headphone there, so you can of course route it to in-ears or headphones, whatever you choose to use. At the very top, you have highlighted here your beats per minute clock. Of course, here we have your time signature clock, and right here we have your metronome. So so once you press the space bar or the play button right here, you will hear that clock right there. Okay, that ticking. All right. Once you click on this down arrow, you got your count in. I have a 1-bar count in, so anytime I'm about to do a session, before it actually starts recording, it's going to count in 4 beats or whatever your metronome marking is. Okay, now if you either click on the tab key, okay, or this particular button right here to my far right, this is going to bring you over to what we call the session view. Now, when I'm making my tracks, I love to use the session view because I love to see everything in full view. Okay, so every time you hit the stop bar, the stop sign here, if you have your cursor right here at 35, measure 35, hit the stop, you hit it a couple of times, it's going to go right back to the beginning. So just like the arrangement view, when you hit the tab key or this particular key down here, you have your auxiliary returns. Okay, so one right here is the A reverb and the B is the delay. When you click over onto the session view, you have it down here on the bottom, and plus you have your master, where you can control either the song tempo or the panning or the volume, whatever, the crossfades, whatever, how you want to do it. All right. So you do have two MIDIs. All right. So I'm going to assume that you have your MIDI set up. And how would you know if you have your MIDI set up? Well, good question. So let's go over here to the Live tab, the far left, and we're going to go to Preferences, and we're going to click on the Midi Link right here. As you can see, I have on my control surface for 1 and 2, I have my launch key keyboard, which is right behind me, and my input is on my launch key, my output is my launch key, and then right here on number 3, I have my APC, my Kai APC 40, and then as you can have all of my MIDI ports turned on. All right, let's go over here to my audio real quick. Bam. My input is wherever I'm recording from the outside with my microphones or keyboards. I have it coming out of my Focusrite audio interface. If you drop down, as you can see, I have the built-in microphone from the actual computer itself, and you also have the no device option. Why would you not want any device? I wouldn't understand that, but unless you're just using headphones out of the computer, that really makes no sense. All right, so I have my Focusrite. All right. For my output, I actually have just my built-in output because I have my speakers here. So when I'm doing what I'm doing, I like for them to come out of my speakers. When you click on this drop-down arrow, you actually have the Focusrite Thunderbolt again. So if I'm actually using in-ears, you know, coming right out of my audio interface, I select that, and it will not come out these speakers. It'll just come right out of my audio interface, which is right behind my computer. Okay, now as far as the sample and the buffer sizes and all that stuff, that is what that is. That's pretty much standard. Okay, so that's my preferences. So with all that said, when you click on this recording toggle button, you don't have to put any sounds here so far. If you just click on it and you hit your keyboard, you should see that flashing. Okay, if you don't, that means that your MIDI on your keyboard is not hooked up properly. And then for your audio, when you actually click on that, you should get a sound. Now there is an issue. Okay, before I do anything, if you notice that this is on off, I like to keep everything on auto. All right, so off is just off. It's not receiving any type of sound data from my audio interface, so I like to keep it on audio. On auto. So let me go here to my keyboard real quick, set this up, and the moment I actually hit a sound, it should pretty much trigger. Let me just make sure that my volume is up a little bit. It is. So when I hit it, bam, there it is. Okay, you actually hear something. So you saw how that triggered in my auto interface on the auto tab. Okay, this is standard with the master. Now if you look at track number 4 here, as you can see, I have my audio interface on track number 2. As you can see, nothing is actually happening. Even if I click on auto, nothing is happening because I have nothing coming out of that track. Okay, so but as you can see, you see a little something right here for number 1. All right, so with that being said, let's go back to, I'm going to minimize these windows real quick. I'm going to go back to the other side. Let me take this off. I'm going to go back to the other side. Here we go. Now, when I come back here to the other side, if you keep this highlighted every time you hit the record button, first you got to toggle the recording down here on the mixer. Okay, so you got to actually have this up and running first. Then when you click on here, actually recording that track. Now, as you can see, now these squares just turned into circles. So if you want to record any of these tracks, you just click on any of these at one time. And yes, you can record on more than one at one time. Okay, we will get into that once we start making tracks. All right, so let's get out of that. Also, with your beats per minute, you can actually type in your beats per minute at 85. You can type it in and hit the enter key, or you can use your mouse by holding down the left side of your mouse, and you can drag it up and down as far as you want. Okay, so let me type in my 120, back to return. All right, so down here where the audio effects and all that good stuff, I will actually have that for you for the next video. Okay, so without I hope that explains everything that you see on your Ableton Live. Please, if you want to start making tracks on this, I will actually show you that in another video. Okay, if you like what you see, I have plenty more of these videos coming, so like this, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, because I have plenty of these videos coming out. If you are into learning Ableton as much as I think you are, because you actually saw this entire video out, I want you to be the first to receive the next video that I put in regards to this wonderful program. Okay, so if that's it for me for this episode, and this is your actual first overview of Ableton Live, so I'll see you on the next one. All right, y'all take care. Peace.